So what I'll do is I'll shoot a video and I'll just say, hey, if you're seeing this, it's on purpose. My name's Jason. I have a client. His name's Seth. He's looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath under $1 million in Claremont. If you're thinking about selling or you know someone who is, please pass this video along. And then I'll run it as an ad. You can't do zip code targeting anymore, but you can still like drop a pin and just like it narrow the radius down a little bit. So you'll get some overlap. And I'll just run an ad in that area. And then people will DM. Usually it's other agents that are like, hey, I have something coming soon, right? We just got a little competitive edge on that property.
What's the deal with all those old school real estate agents teaching outdated marketing techniques and living in the past? This show is about fresh ideas in real estate, diving deep into marketing, design, home renovations, and business development. But we also talk about lifestyle, health, travel, and just living an incredible life. Because the fastest way to financial freedom and fun is through real estate. It's time to build up your real estate business, serve way more clients, and have a blast doing it. All right, hey guys, welcome back to the show. I have a good friend here today, a team lead, an agent here in San Diego, and like I said, a very good friend, Jason Casssity. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, I'm really excited too. We've wanted to do this for a while now, and I remember I saw you at Sushi a couple months ago, and I'm like, dude, we need to get this on the books.
That's right.
So
we're down. I'm always down.
Oh man, this is exciting. So Sam, who helps me produce this show, we've been kind of working with a bunch of really cool people and wanted to specifically reach out to you and work with you and go take this and, get some really amazing, good info that really you have. And it's mainly about social media and how social media has really helped you as an agent, how it's helped your team, and just dive deep into that. And so, yeah, let's just jump into it.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Full send. I'm an open book.
Full send. Oh man, this is what the kids are saying these days. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, I mean, the obvious is, I mean, you've had, a tremendous amount of success on Instagram, social media, and I just want to kind of understand what led you down that path in the first place, and how has it really affected you as a business? And I know this is a broad question, but like, I just want to kind of high level, and then we'll get nitty gritty.
Totally. So I started in this business in 2012, late 2012, got my license in early 2013. So I was like interning for a little bit on like this property management company thing. So right about that time, as I'm starting to like grow my business, Instagram was growing. So it was kind of just like that's what was popping off at that point, right? Mm-hmm. Instagram was starting to get big. I think they had just gotten bought by Facebook for like $1 billion. And so, and just like everybody else in 2012, I was also on Facebook, but like, and I was running ads there and stuff like that, but Instagram was always fun to me. And it was like, that's what I was using as a consumer. That's one of the key things is like, as an agent, you always want to create an avatar of who you want to work with and kind of target that avatar. Well, my avatar was me. Like at the time, I was 27, 28, just about to get married. I had my girlfriend, but like all my friends were also 28, getting it ready to start buying houses. And so it's like, well, where am I consuming my content, my media? Well, Instagram, Facebook and Instagram. So it kind of naturally progressed with the growth of the platform. And so I always say like I was there from day one. Now, if I could go back and do it again, I probably would have spent more time on YouTube back then. Cause like, I think YouTube is like a better place to grow a business. Instagram though, allows you to showcase yourself a little bit more, which was just so easy. And it's just so easy to document what you're doing every single day as opposed to worrying about creating content. You could literally just flip the camera around and be like, hey, going on this listing appointment, like check out how I get my stuff ready to go and then go out to the listing appointment. Wish me luck, right? And like you can be more you on Instagram versus YouTube where you're almost like you're having to curate content and put it out, and you have to like title it properly and make sure you have the keywords in it and stuff like that. Instagram, you can just flip the camera on and be you. And I happened to be starting my career when Instagram was also growing. So I think that was an easy.
So, but I mean, like you could easily just not be in social media. Like why social media in general?
I like it, one. So like I consume it, right? So like that was one thing. But then also I felt like the people that I wanted to be my clients were consuming it. And so that doesn't mean, and I'm sure we'll tackle this too, we've also geographic farm and do Zillow and do all these other things that a normal agent does. But social media was just easy for me because I was already on it. And I saw a lane because most other agents weren't already on it or weren't doing it well. And so I'm like, if I can carve out this lane where I do this platform well, I could really make a niche for myself.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's obviously helped you in your business.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
So that's why you've just dove deeper into it.
Of course. Yeah. And then it's like the first time you get a client referral, that's like, hey, I follow you on Instagram. I've got someone moving to San Diego. You're just like, oh my goodness. bonus. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't pay for this lead. I didn't, and we know that referrals are the best. They already know you, like, you, trust you, because they're being referred by someone they know, like, and trust. And so, like, you want more of that, you know what I mean? And so, like, I will spend all my time on social media if it means I'm going to get more of that. That was kind of where my brain was at the time.
So what do you think? So, you know, you're posting content and you're getting referrals we just talked about, but like, what specifically have you noticed has been like the most positive impact on social media for you as far as like content goes?
Yeah, I like doing client stories. So like, that's the other thing is like, I try not to do any like just listed, just sold. I will promote just listeds from a standpoint of like, my sellers want to see that I'm promoting their house on my account. Yeah. But the just sold, like, case studies of like how we, you know, won a multiple offer situation and got Daniel and Justine their first house. Like, that type of stuff is fun to me. It's great. It's engaging content. It's a little bit different. I like that type of stuff. And I feel like it resonates with other agents too. And then that leads to, hey, I saw this video you did. I loved it. Oh my God, so cool. If I ever have a referral for San Diego, I think of you, right?
And people who see it are just like, that's a great story. 100%. I love this guy. I want to work with this guy.
100%.
Yeah.
There was a recently I started doing these videos. They're called I Have a Buyer videos. And it's like, if you, Seth, or my client, you know, we look on the MLS, there's 3-bed, 2-bath in Claremont under $1 million or whatever. There's 6 houses, but you don't like them or whatever. We write an offer, we miss them. So what I'll do is I'll shoot a video and I'll just say, hey, if you're seeing this, it's on purpose. My name's Jason. I have a client. His name's Seth. He's looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath under $1 million in Claremont. If you're thinking about selling or you know someone who is, please pass this video along. And then I'll run it as an ad. You can't do zip code targeting anymore, but you can still like drop a pin and just like narrow the radius down a little bit. So you'll get some overlap. And I'll just run an ad in that area. And then people will DM. Usually it's other agents that are like, hey, I have something coming soon, right? We just got a little competitive edge on that property. And so A, I've gotten leads from that, sellers who are thinking about selling. Yeah. B, my other clients see, oh, this guy's working.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's fighting for me right now.
Yeah, he's not just putting in a search in the MLS. He's actually trying stuff. Yeah. And so
has that worked?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Wow. So I've gotten listings from it, and I've gotten other buyers who are like, I saw what you did. Like, we want to work with you. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. Yep. I guess, okay, so let's just leads right into, so like the stories, but like, are you running any sort of, you were talking about ads, like paid ads. Are you paying for any other sort of ad that's like a lead magnet online right now? Or do you have campaigns that are doing that?
No, Google pay-per-click, I guess we could call that, right? That's more paid advertising. I wouldn't say that's a lead magnet per se, but we work with a marketing company called Curator. They manage our website. Jimmy Mackin, shout out. He's a thought leader in the industry. So like, they put together our website and run our Google pay-per-click. So we do spend there, I don't know, like $600-700 a month. Not a lot, but it generates leads, 20-30 leads a month. And then we used to do a lot more Facebook lead ads. Got away from it a little bit. I didn't feel like it was just as the quality of the lead was just not that great.
We did that for 4 years. Same thing. Like we did Facebook lead ads for years. I mean, that's how I built my business, was off of that. And we just crushed it. And I don't know, something happened, like a tide changed or something, and it was like done.
And
like nobody else.
Maybe that is indicative that it's time to go back and try it out. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, here's the deal. We're, as team leaders and agents, you have a certain dollar that you can spend each month, and you have a certain amount of time to work those leads. And it's like, you have to pick the highest and best use. Zillow leads, realtor.com, portal leads are the best. They're just also wildly expensive. Those are people who are high intent. They went on to Zillow, realtor.com. They're basically, if they're hitting a button that says contact agent, they want to be contacted about a house. Google pay-per-click's probably next because they searched some relevant keyword, houses for sale in San Diego. So they were doing something. Facebook, nobody went on Facebook to look for a realtor. Like they just, your ad was really good and it caught them, but they could be years out. So you're adding fodder to your CRM, but is it the right type of contact? You know what I mean? But it's also the cheapest. You can get $2-3 leads there.
You can.
But I mean, whatever. I'd rather just pay for someone who wants me to call them.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that's like the thing. It's like, I don't know. I guess there's a fine balance between producing content that attracts more referrals that are people that you actually like and want to work with versus completely cold people that you have to nurture and get to know. I think for me personally, I would love to produce content that's more like, oh my God, I love Seth. I know him. My friend would love him. They're buying a house. Boom, you know?
That's it.
And I just wanted to ask you if that's like kind of your train of thought, or 100%. You're just like, no, cold leads, I'm good for it.
I over-index on what I call branding content. It's just people getting to know me and my team and whatever, like more, not the leads portion. Now,
Yeah.
that being said, run a team, I have to get now business, as I call it. So we do Zillow spend, Google pay-per-click. Me personally, I would, if I didn't have a team, it was just me, I would go just all video marketing, brand related.
Yeah.
My client success stories, property tours, all that type of stuff, so that I could sell me.
Yeah.
The leads are strictly for the team. I wouldn't spend a dime on it if I didn't have that component to it. And now here's the deal. It is ROI positive, right? So like Zillow for us is like 3X, like, so, 300% return. As a business owner, like I'm not going to turn down 3X, so I'm going to do it.
Sure.
But I think that anytime you're building brand is much, much better for the future, but also, your agent to agent referrals. That's the type of business you want to try to source.
Dude, you're like breezing through all these questions like in 5 seconds. Okay, this is good.
It's easy to talk about.
Yeah, it is easy to talk about because it's what you talk about it all day. Yeah.
That's what we do. Yeah.
I just feel like, okay, team, like we're talking about paying for Zillow leads, and it's 3X. I mean, but they probably are like hustling, like calling these leads nonstop. They have to, right?
They have to. Yeah. Google pay-per-click is Zillow's the worst. And I mean, in the best and the worst, I'm just saying, like, they actually track your answer rate and like your speed to lead and what you say in the call. Like they record the calls and then listen. They have like an AI. And so you have to say the word appointment and you have to basically, you know what I mean? So like they're listening in on the calls, but those leads are like $700, $800 a lead. Like we're spending $7,000, we're getting 10 leads, you know what I mean? And so like ultimately, but we're closing at 15%. So like it works out.
Yeah.
But like you literally have to call within 5 minutes or pick up the phone. So with Zillow, you have to pick up the phone because they live transfer you. Google pay-per-click, the rule of thumb is basically like you have to pick up within 5 minutes and call back. Because like if you can catch that lead who's still on your website, that's easy. It's like, hey, Seth, I saw you inquired about 123 Banana Street. They're like, oh, I'm still on your website. And be like, yeah, I just happened to be sitting at my computer. It worked out perfectly. How are you? How can I help you out? Right?
Yeah.
But if you wait 30 minutes, they're gone. They probably turned off the computer, left, went to the grocery store, and then you're like, hey, I saw you inquired about 123 Banana Street. And they're like, what? I don't remember. Sorry, who are you? Right? And you lost that lead. Yeah. I think Chris Smith, shout out to Chris Smith, who wrote the conversion code. He says that the first minute is actually where most of the conversion happens. Minute 1 to minute 2, it drops like 90%. And then minute 2 to minute 3 drops like another 90%. So like really it's minute 1. You have to call as soon as that lead comes in. So like, and that's the thing is if that's not your game, it's like, that's not, and these are random cold leads, you know, I call them warm leads because they did go to your website and leave their information. It's not like you're cold calling them, but if you're not going to be able to call that lead right away, have a good script, build rapport, you're just wasting money.
Yeah. I would say that to anyone who's listening is like, as a beginning agent, I guess I'll just turn to Jason, like beginning agent on social media, what would you do? I
would go all in on hyper local content.
What does that mean
Preferably like on YouTube versus Instagram. But like, so hypothetically, I think that you're going to be better suited to become like the digital mayor and well known for San Diego or Kensington or Burlingame or whatever your little niche is, or San Diego as a whole, versus trying to be like trying to show property tours and stuff like that, because there's 25,000 licenses here. Everybody's doing property tours and stuff like that. So if you can be like, hey, what's that new building that's going in on 5th and J? Watch the rest of this video to find out. And then you break down, you pulled permits and you see that it's a new O'Reilly Auto Parts coming. I don't know, whatever that happens to be. Yeah. You're like breaking news for San Diego. I think that's a better niche, because then the people watching, the way the algorithm works is like more likely going to be local people who are watching that. So then it's like you're getting a bunch of San Diegans in your following. Yeah. So then obviously you're going to mix in every once in a while that you're a real estate agent. So when they think of someone, they think of you versus going to Zillow and searching someone else.
It's a great idea.
So like if I could start all over again, there's this guy named Ken Pozak. He's out of Orlando. I look up to him. He has this great YouTube channel and then an offshoot called The Orlando Reel, which is his Instagram page. And all he does like 3-4 days or times a day, he has a team now, but he puts out content about Orlando. And it's like the new ride coming into Disney and the new Orlando Magic this and the new Ralph's going in on, and it's just like all kinds of content around Orlando. Yeah. And then just like Instagram works, it's like every 5th or every 10th reel pops off and does pretty good, picks up a bunch of followers, grows. And he has a team that did over 250 million in volume strictly from his YouTube. Wow. And it's like he doesn't do any paid advertising, no Zillow, no Google pay-per-click, just YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, probably people think Orlando in real estate, they probably 100%. Think of him in a blip. So I know Brad from Chicago Title is like his thing is like new developments in San Diego, and he does it. And you know, I have mad respect for him because he knows every development in every area of San Diego, and I'm just like, dude,
That's it.
You're
and
on it.
Think about what our job is to be the purveyors of knowledge for local stuff. So then when you go out with your buyer, if you spend all this time creating content locally, then you go out with your buyer and you're driving around and they're like, oh, what's that? And you're like, check it. It's a new Trader Joe's, actually. I did a video about this. Then you look so much better to your buyers too, or your sellers. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're going to sell the house. Check out this new development. You're like quarter acre from the school. That school is actually going to merge with this school. Did you know that? And they're like, no. And be like, oh, we can actually increase the price because of this. Yeah. It's so valuable to your clients.
Yeah, and it's all about your niche too. Like, I feel like if you want to know about new development, that's great too. Like, I mean, I know a lot about like ADUs, development in general, and like design and stuff like that. So people will always say, how many ADUs can I add to my property? Or like, what's the best return on investment for XYZ? Because I work with a lot of those clients. And so whether it's you're knowing about the development downtown or you're knowing what's going on in Mission Valley or whatever, just know something specific and then people are going to know you for that.
Totally. Yeah. You're a knowledge broker, which is really respectful. A lot of times it's tougher to get virality on like social when you're explaining how many ADUs you can fit, but the people who do watch that really care. And those are the type of people you want too. Because if someone's watching my reel about the new Trader Joe's, it's like, cool. I might have more virality because there's millions of people in San Diego, not millions of people who care about ADUs. But the people who care about ADUs are the clients that you actually want.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a little bit of both that you want there.
That's and I mean, I kind of fell off the bandwagon with producing video content at all. Just with flipping houses and other projects, it just like took me. I was taken away.
Totally.
And you can understand, like being a dad, I'm sure like it's probably really easy to get off the bandwagon and be like, okay, like I need a break for a second. Taya DeCarlo, same thing. I talk to her all the time, and she's like, I need a social detox. Like I need to just take a break for a minute. And so now, thankfully, like we're getting back on. I mean, we're here today doing this, and it's been like 3 months since we've been in here. So it's nice to get back into it. But I heard you mention YouTube. I heard you mention Instagram. I haven't heard you mention anything about TikTok. And I know a while ago, maybe years ago, you were like, TikTok. And I'm like, how's that turned out? Like, what has it brought, or has it done anything or become anything that you thought it was?
So TikTok, I'm always listening and trying to watch where the new platforms are just in case, right? Because stuff pivots. And TikTok has been wildly successful for a lot of my agent friends who have done business from it and gotten referrals, agent-to-agent referrals. All I did was repurpose my Instagram vertical content into TikTok. So I never built community there. It's fine. I got agent to agent referrals from there. They never really panned out, but I got the referrals. I would say that in this day and age, I wouldn't spend a ton of time there. Here's the deal. Whoever's listening to this, right? Like, I don't know what your bandwidth is. If I would pick one social platform, get really good at it. And if you have the bandwidth to do 2 or 3, but Instagram and YouTube should be where you start. So now you're managing 3 platforms. Like, do you have the time for that? You also have to like do business too. So now the cool part with TikTok is you can just repurpose a lot of your vertical content from Instagram to TikTok. So you actually, if you're doing Instagram really consistently, you already have TikTok content too. It's just that the communities are a little bit different. The hashtags might be different. You have to engage a little bit differently, but I don't even use it that much. I get like content ideas from there sometimes. Like I actually like watching content. But it's definitely low on the total.
I feel like TikTok's a big like consuming content site or app, because I mean I'm the same way. I just scroll and I'm not even really like, oh, I think I post like 5 things, but I'm watching all these silly videos.
People are so creative and it's so cool to watch. It's so funny, but it's like I don't know that you're going to be able to like reel that crowd into business type stuff, which is where I do more of, is like business type stuff. Like I try to like, I'll actually have videos where I share the updates to NAR and the car changes and stuff like that. That's not going to do well on TikTok. No. Like, you know what I mean? No. So it just kind of depends.
Hey there, if you like this episode or want a real estate connection in San Diego, find me on Instagram and subscribe so you don't miss any of these fun episodes. See you next time.